What makes psychopaths like Ted Bundy so callous? Scientists are using brain imaging technology to reveal that psychopaths are more emotionally detached, more cold-blooded than others.
Psychopaths can do amazingly bad things. They're very cold-blooded.
Dr. Kent Keel is on the faculty of Yale University. His father was a newspaper editor near Seattle during Bundy's spree.
My father would tell me stories about this kid down the street who was doing these very bad things, and it really kind of piqued my interest about how would you develop into somebody who could be a serial killer.
Dr. Keel is studying what makes psychopaths different. He conducts experiments that actually map their emotions.
Psychopaths live a very different existence than the rest of us do. They don't tend to develop emotional attachments. It's just down here. They don't tend to develop significant emotional relationships. If you ask them, what does it feel like to be in love? They'll say, oh, it's like having good sex. If you're my victim and I'm about to assault you, and you're saying, please don't hurt me, please don't hurt me, many people would stop and might not hurt you. But the psychopath doesn't process those cues in the same way, and so they're going to just continue to do what they were doing.
Dr. Keel has devised a way to measure how people experience emotion using a simple test. He recruits subjects from the community, everyone from recent convicts to student volunteers. He hooks them up to the EEG.
Your brain acts like millions of little batteries. And when those batteries are all organized, we can record what your brain is doing while you're processing different types of information. We record EEG by putting basically like a swim cap on their head, and that swim cap has electrodes in it that can record their brain electrical activity. How you guys doing?
Fine.
Are you ready to get going?
Absolutely.
All right.
Words, some real, some made up, flash on a screen. The subject is told to hit a button when a fake word appears. A seemingly simple test, but Dr. Keel has a hidden agenda. As the words flash on the screen, some become emotional. Positive words like friend or love.
Good, so just keep pressing as quickly as you can.
Negative words, hurt, maim, kill.
All right, we're ready to start the functional task now.
Dr. Keel gets an additional view with the functional MRI. Even though the subjects don't know that their emotions are being probed, both the EEG and MRI results show that they are feeling their power.
So we use the EEG to tell us when things happen in time, and we use the MRI to tell us where in space things happen. You can use these techniques to simply peek inside and look at how the psychopath's brain is processing information. And what we see is that they're not doing it the same way as the rest of us do.
For most people, emotions are regulated in the medial prefrontal cortex, but Keel discovers that in the mind of a psychopath, this region has abnormal responses.
Are you okay? All right.
Compared to non-psychopaths, this region is less active.
What it suggests is that they understand the book meaning of the words, but they don't understand the deeper emotional significance of the words. They know the words, but not the music.
This emotional flatness may allow a psychopath to remain outwardly calm, blind to the emotions of others around him.
Surprised? I don't know. I didn't know what to expect. I've never been in jail before, never been arrested before.
If Ted Bundy took a test, especially if he were shown words that either carried little emotion or a lot of emotion, he would show a pattern that was just about unchanged. What that says is that the words, they don't hook up with emotion in the way that they do in ordinary people. And it's this quality that allows them to say things in order to charm others because they don't care about the consequences.
On Dr. Stone's scale of evil, Ted Bundy is a level 17. Psychopaths who are sexual serial killers. Higher levels on the scale are reserved for psychopaths who are motivated by even more gruesome goals.
I didn't care one iota about the women. The idea was kill, kill, kill.
Killers like Gary Ridgway, the Green River Killer.
To me, he was more prolific and even more casual about his killings than was Ted Bundy.
August 1982. 3 bodies are found by the Green River in Seattle, all brutally strangled. Over the next decade, a total of 48 victims will be found. The most confirmed victims of any American serial killer.
As with Ted Bundy, I believe the clues to why he killed are rooted in his childhood.
He had a normal childhood?
I think I did. But when I had troubles, I just blocked out anything back then. I'd hit everything that I could hide.
Growing up in the 1950s, Gary Ridgway's world is defined by one woman, his mother. In some ways, she is a typical 50s housewife, but Dr. Stone discovers there is another side to her personality.
From my research, Gary's mother was a stern and devoutly religious woman, yet she dressed provocatively, and Gary was troubled by feelings of sexual attraction to her. He both hated and loved her.
Blessed O Lord, these are gifts which we are about to receive from thy bounties of Christ our Lord. Amen. Mary, Mother.
She is allegedly seductive yet violent, once smashing a plate over her husband's head at the dinner table.
Ridgway had unresolved conflicts with women, and this carried on into his adulthood.
Ridgway marries twice. Both wives cheat on him.
They're the cause of my problems, women, the divorces, the lies they told me.
The betrayal pushes him over the edge. When we come back, Dr. Stone will explore the rage that finally ignited the Green River Killer. Gary Ridgway, the Green River Killer, brutally strangled 48 women. To place him on his scale of evil, forensic psychiatrist Dr. Stone explores how his childhood may have influenced his killing spree. From early on, Ridgway is conflicted with women, and after his wives cheat on him, he feels rage. He becomes obsessed with prostitutes. And after one angers him, he snaps.
The first person you killed, didn't you ever even think, whoa, I just killed a human being here?
No, that didn't come to mind. I just wanted sex and wanted it for free, and I was mad and wanted to kill a woman.
They meant nothing to you. You never felt one thing for these women.
No, I didn't.
He strangles women with anything he can find. Fishing line, extension cord, rope, jumper cables, neckties. Strangling them gives him control.
I was just a wimp, and then I had control when I killed a woman. I got my rage out for the time.
He is consumed with one goal: kill as many promiscuous women as possible.
It was as if he were trying to kill his mother over and over again.
Ridgway brings his victims near the airport, so planes can drown out any screams. He throws off criminal profilers, altering the way he leaves the corpses. He poses a body, decapitates another, transports others across state lines. He leaves receipts, cigarette butts, chewed gum, all from other people, just to confuse investigators.
Ridgway was methodical, careful not to get caught, so he could achieve his morbid goal.
Didn't feel one thing for him. I killed him, and that's what got me my gratification.
Mr. Ridgway, please step to the bench.
November 2001. After nearly 2 decades of eluding police,
How do you plead to the charge of aggravated murder?
Ridgway is arrested after DNA evidence links him to the bodies.
Guilty.
How do you plead to the charge
He confesses to killing 48 women,
as charged in count 48,
the highest confirmed death toll of any American serial killer.
known as Jane Doe?
Guilty.
Gary Ridgway had a goal to eliminate as many promiscuous women as he could. He strangled 48 women. Dr. Stone compares him to Ted Bundy.
For Bundy, the sexual violence appeared to be the motive. His crimes seem impulsive compared to Ridgway, who was systematic. For Ridgway, murder was the driving force. I would place him with other methodical serial murderers.
Gary Ridgway is one level above Ted Bundy, level 18 on Dr. Stone's scale of evil.